So give yourselves a woo. Woo! Oh, y'all are good. But you gotta get the hands going too. So okay, will you do it again? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Woo!
All right, so woo! Thank you for being with me this morning. Yay! You see Christmas behind me. Merry Christmas. Let me be one of the first to wish you have Merry Christmas. I know we're still at the end of Thanksgiving. It's odd this year because of the way the calendar falls that we still have a whole week, before we hit December. But I just, as soon as Thanksgiving hits, that's kind of been our family tradition. We put up the Christmas tree, start decorating. We actually started early this year just because we could, I guess. So I hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, got to share it with friends or family, or took a day to yourself to pamper yourself. Sometimes I had a couple people reach out and say that they actually had a really nice, quiet Thanksgiving. They enjoyed just the day of taking that time off, and they did not work. Okay. That's kind of a pitfall, so to speak, of us that work at home. So if you are an entrepreneur and you work in your home, it's just so easy to always go to your desk or go to the computer every time you have a little moment. So sometimes you have to make an appointment with yourself. Sometimes you just agree or tell yourself you're your own boss, right? So I used to tease in Mary Kay. Sometimes I fire myself one day and hire myself back the next. So maybe you took Thanksgiving off or one of those days and really pampered yourself and took time to rest and relax. So whatever you did and however you celebrated, I am glad to see you here with me this morning. All right, so I'm going to put the comments on and make sure that y'all can see those. If someone is out there, or when you're out there, if you'll send me a little quick hello. I am back on StreamYard right now, and I usually can see all of the comments right as they're happening. So that's a blessing. I love that. And if you'll just put a little quick hello. Oh my gosh, Alicia is up in Wisconsin. It was 3, like 1, 2, 3, 3 degrees. Like, honey, I love you, but I am not coming to see you in that kind of weather. That's like, oh my gosh. But she said, the kids go out to recess every day. They have to put on their snowsuits, and that's one of their learning. He's in kindergarten, so one of the things is to be able to put their own snowsuit and boots on by themselves, because obviously the teacher had to help them all. They would never get out to recess, so recess would be over by the time kids got all dressed to go back outside. So, but it's healthy, good fresh air and all that. But oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Laura, good morning. And Kathy, good morning. Yeah, 3 degrees. No way. So, oh my goodness, that's just too cold to breathe. I would think it would burn your lungs to breathe that in. Oh, so my goodness. So let's talk about a couple things this morning. First of all, I'm excited to say that some of the gals here in Kansas City, we are having our luncheon next week. So we're excited about that. If you are interested in being part of the group, I will always announce things ahead of time. This particular venue only had availability for 15, and we are totally booked out. We're full for that. But as we look into the new year, if you are interested, let me know, and I'll find a venue that will have more people so we can grow and just grow our group back. I think at one time we had individual meetings of 25, 30, but I had 5 of them a week. And so when I first started holding the luncheons, I was coming into Kansas City from Vegas. I was coming into Kansas City the second week of the month, and I held a lunch or breakfast every day I was in town. So by the end of the week, because some of them, like I said, had 25 or 30 in them. So I could see anywhere like 75 to 100 women on that week, which was so exciting. But things changed, and life did a topsy-turvy turnover. But we're back, and we'll be looking at making some plans for the Kansas City area. So if you are here, reach out to me. Tell me what you'd like to see, how you'd like it. We don't have to do things the way we always did. I'm a big proponent of change and shift and let's flow with it. And then I'm excited to say that the Vegas group is moving on. They had 22 at their luncheon last week. I'm so proud of them. They did a great job, had a wonderful time. So I think things are moving. People are ready to be out and having lunches together or breakfast together, whatever that looks like. So let's just keep thinking about what we would like the whole Fun Fearless to see. And if you, let me put this out there, if you are in a different town and you would like to be part of a Fun Fearless Female live in-person lunch, then reach out to me. I am looking for people who want to be part of that, a leader for a group, and we'll have the outline for you and everything. It'll be really easy. You just have to be excited and want to have that and be the hostess. All right. And one more thing. After the first of the year, if you go into the Fun Fearless Female group, you can see that we are going to start back some virtual networking. And it is posted in there. It's going to start on January 23rd, which is the fourth Tuesday. So one day a month, the fourth Tuesday, we're going to do some networking, virtual networking. So y'all can come in, and actually we'll be able to hear from each of you. So that's part of the networking thing. Everyone will get to share. So we love that. All right. Anybody else out there this morning? Just want to see if, Grace. Okay. Now, Grace, it says good morning and you're looking forward to the lunch. But what's so funny is, there it is. I couldn't see it on my chat, but I was able to get it up on the front. So yay. And I am looking forward to seeing you as well. It's going to be great. So today's word, I guess, or the thought of the day or the topic is hope. And I asked the question, what is hope? What are you hoping for in this Christmas season? And then could even look forward even more to, what do you hope for in the new year, coming into 2024? And I know there's all kinds out there. So if you would like to post something that you are hoping for, what is your hope? I put a scripture in there and I will go to that, but just the basic definition of hope is, we'll do that. The desire for something good for the future. And there's kind of different levels of hope. There's the, I hope I win the lottery, but I didn't buy a ticket. Okay. So, you're not going to win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. That may be what they call an unrealistic hope. Now, does somebody win? Yes. And, I'm one to say if I buy tickets, like, well, somebody has to win. Why not me? So kind of things. So there's that kind of hope. And then there's the, hope I get to see you during the Christmas season. So again, I think part of that hope is the thing that, well, if you're going to see somebody, you either need to reach out and make a plan or make sure you're out of your house so you could actually maybe run into somebody. Does that make sense? But it is something that we, a desire that we're looking forward to in the future. So it's an anticipation. And I love, I was reading an article by John Piper, and he said biblical hope not only desires something good for the future, now get this, it expects it to happen. And that is what makes the difference. With biblical hope, from a spiritual standpoint, as a believer, we have lots of things. God is our hope. And the scripture that I put in on one of the notes talked about that. I mean, that thing is, God is our hope. So sometimes when you're going through a traumatic time, something, earth shattering, chaotic, whatever that looks like, you always know you can go to God, to Christ as your hope. He is our hope for the future. He is our hope every day as we live each day. And that positive, optimistic looking at life, no matter what's going on, gives us that hope because we know the end of the story, y'all. God's got this. We don't have to, we're not like those who live in dread and have no hope. And that's the biggest difference. They've proven that, and I don't know what the studies are. Y'all could look that up. But they've proven that having hope changes people. Those who have cancer or other diseases, just having some hope helps them have a better quality of life while they're going through it. Hope doesn't always end the way we want, hoping that we'll get better or that someone um, will, survive or outlast the particular disease that they have. And, because sometimes that just isn't the way it happens, but having the hope helps them get through it from a more optimistic place and looking at, uh, one of the commentaries said that hope begins with gratitude. We talked about gratitude last week, and we have Miss Grace in here with us. That's a good place to start. So depending on, and if you know someone, maybe you're not going through any of that stuff right now, which, yay, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. But you might know somebody who is. And if you can be a little ray of hope for them, you might be the one who can just, visit with them or talk with them and give them some way of looking at life with a little bit of hope. They say, the days out there that do these studies say it makes a difference physically when people have hope, physically and mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that having hope. And we start, Advent started, on Sunday was the first week of Advent. And the candle for this week was hope. Maybe that's what triggered this talk today, is thinking about that whole hope that, the Israelites had been waiting for so many years in anticipation and the hope of the Messiah. And Jesus, the Messiah, came, born in a manger, the Bethlehem story. But even more than that, so that is fantastic as it is, born and went to the cross and, resurrected. We serve a living God. And now we look at the manger as he was the hope through the darkness of that world. And the world was in a very dark place at that time, and his light coming through. But we now are also looking to the hope of the future. The second coming, the rapture, Jesus coming again and collecting his people. Hallelujah. Didn't that get you excited? And I know there's a lot of bad that's going to happen with all of that. There's going to be tribulation and there's going to be all these things. But the bottom line is, as I said, we know the end of the story. Jesus is our hope. He's going to come back. We're going to live with him in glory, the glorious appearing when he comes back. But in the meantime, we have the hope. And that's what helps us get through the dark days. It helps us get through the pandemic, helps us to get through whatever it is in our life that we have to face. So, hope can be this little inkling of something over here. I'm saying, well, it's not even hope. Oh, I guess I could. So Alicia and her family are coming for Christmas. Now I can say I hope to see them, but no, I'm going to see them. Now I'm already past the hope part. So unless the weather does some crazy stuff, which, weather that's 3 degrees, that's pretty crazy. But think of those things. What are some things? There could be some small things that you hope for. In this article that the man wrote, he talked about, kids hope that, they hope daddy gets off early or mommy gets off early so that they can, play ball outside, or they can go sledding or whatever they like to do, with their parent. So there's those little hopes that just kind of get us through the day. I'm looking through my mother. I'm bringing her back here on a train, and I'm hoping her leg, she fell. She didn't break anything. Praise God for that. Absolutely. But she did sprain her ankle and twisted it. And so she says, well, I don't know if I can come. And I said, oh yes, you're coming, mother. You can sit on the train and we'll put your leg up just as easily as you can sit at home and have your leg up on your bed. So I'm hoping that her leg and her ankle will get better. That's what I'm hoping, because we are looking forward to that. So do any of y'all have any comments out there? What is something that you are looking for, that you're hoping for today? You want to put anything in the comments there? And let's see if I see here. Now, there is to see, my hope is for deliverance once and for all for my son who has struggled with addiction for many years. Oh, that is a beautiful hope. And I'm going to give you some encouragement that my daughter, and she's very open to me sharing, y'all. So I'm never talking without her knowing that I say things about her. She knows that I do, and she has given me permission. But she is, I have to think of how old I am to know how many years. So she is 12 years clean and sober. But she was under the under addiction for many years, for 10, 12 years. So I'm going to give you encouragement. Just keep praying and keep loving. I think that was the biggest thing. Did I agree with the things she was doing? No, of course not. I never condoned any of that. We don't do that in our family. We don't just, how do I say this? We can love them, but we don't have to agree with all their choices. And of course, addiction, we don't agree with that at all, right? Because we see how it hurts them. But just keep loving, keep praying, and that hope can become a reality for you. So I just want to give you that hope and that assurance today. So, but I don't know who you are. It just says Facebook user. So as you see on the stream here, it says grant StreamYard permission. So if you click on there, you have to give Facebook permission to show your name. So these other ladies that you see their names up here, they've done that already. So that's how you can do that. So I can see who you are. I would love that. Or if you don't want to share your name, reach out to me later. I'd love to encourage you and pray for you in that situation. So as we continue on thinking about the hope of things, I think at the holidays, there is always that, you're hoping to get to see your family, the people that you love. And, sometimes our families are the families that we choose. Not everyone has wonderful relationships with all of their family. I am blessed that I really do. I'm just really, really, really blessed. I don't take it for granted. And again, I'm really blessed that, my mother's 94. She's still kicking and driving and going to the grocery store, all that. I want to be her when I grow up. So, there's those things. But sometimes we choose the families that we want. You have those close friends that are just like sisters, or for us girls, usually, bringing another sister in as we hang out with other girlfriends. And that being able to share our lives with other people. And that's a wonderful thing, in that hope of looking forward to seeing them. I had a great friend reach out, and now I'm going to read, this is not really part of the hope thing, but it's what's coming to mind. I have had several people over these last months reach out to me and just say they were thinking about me or whatever. And we get to talking. This week, that same thing happened. It was so great. I'm going to say her name on here. So it's B. Crawford. And she was in my Mary Kay unit. And she was a police officer for years, retired from the Kansas City Police Force. And she was amazing. She is an amazing woman. She's been retired now for a number of years. And she spends her time ministering and helping make other people's lives better. She actually is a ray of hope to so many people within her church and her neighbors. And it was so, so great to connect with her. And here's what was so cool about it is she says, I was thinking of you because I was remembering at a low time of my life, you had me over for Thanksgiving dinner. And I had to really think about, when was that? And of course I did remember after she reminded me of that. And, sometimes, y'all, we don't know the difference we're making for somebody. It's like, I was so pleased to know that we did something that made a difference for her. She asked about Bill. If you ever have the opportunity, if I ever get to, have it where you're in my home, Bill is a great host. He makes everybody so comfortable. He just has that wonderful personality and does that. She says, well, now, how is that Bill Larson doing? And so she always called him Bill Larson, the whole name. So, anyway, as you have those moments, as you go through these next weeks, as we go towards the anticipation that we have at Christmas of looking to the manger and to what Jesus has done for us, we can be that ray of hope, y'all. We can be that little piece of hope for somebody else. And maybe we just show them how to have hope. Maybe sometimes people get in a place where they don't see any options. They don't see how there could even be hope in the middle of what's going on. But there is always hope because there's God. Just from the very fact that we have the Lord, there is our hope. And for those who don't know him, then that gives us an opportunity to share who he is and what he does, and that hope that there's something more. There's something more than just the circumstances to which we live in. There's more to the world and more to life than politics. And we may not like where it is. I don't. I'm I'm hopeful for the future for the political scene. Okay, that's just me. You may be looking, I don't know how you're looking at it, but those are the kind of things that we hope. But I think in a lot of those cases, we also have to begin to make a difference. How can we be part of that hope for the country, the hope for our own community, in our neighborhoods, in our families? We can show, again, we can be that ray of hope. We can be the light, Christ's light through us to make a difference in the world. Because when you think about how, if you're looking strictly at the world and what it has to offer now and what the circumstances are worldwide with wars and the things, it can look very dark and very disparaging, right? It just can be hard to look at that. But when you stop and you take that moment and you think how in a dark room you take a light and you just turn the flashlight on or light the candle, how it begins to move that darkness away. And that's what hope does. Hope is the light. Hope is Christ. Hope is Jesus. And as we look at him for hope, as we look for him in the midst of these circumstances, he will always prove true. He can lift the spirit of depression. And sometimes you may just have to pray, God, be my hope. You are my hope. I don't know anything else to hope for. I don't even see what could be at the end of the tunnel. Maybe that's where you are, and just know that he is. He is your light at the end of the tunnel. And you just look towards him. You look up, and you look up and you see how he is your hope. And he will begin to lift the darkness from your heart and the darkness from your mind. Again, if that's where you are. And I know a lot of people are during the holidays just because of the passing of friends and family and just things that go on. So I want to encourage you to look to the light, look to God, let him be your hope, and try to, as you can, in a daily basis, be a light to somebody else. Be that ray of hope that helps them to see that there's more than what is immediate, that there's much more ahead for them if they just look at it from that standpoint. All right, let me see if we have any more comments. Lisa, good morning. I don't think I had said hello to you. And Grace, I think I did. All right. I love it that you all will spend time with me on these Tuesday mornings. This is great. Next week is our week. I will be here as always. Then we have our luncheon. So that's next Tuesday is going to be a really fun day. Get to do double stuff, double fun. All right. I think that is it for the morning. Does anybody have any comments that they would like to make? Always looking forward to that. The sunshine is here today. I love the sun. Going to get out for a while. So you guys remember that life is not a matter of chance. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad that your life is just not the chance of things happening? It is a choice. So choose to have that hope. Choose to share the hope with others and make it a fabulous week. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great time. Bye now. Take care.